ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shop Talk. I am your co-host, Andre. See right over here, it's the epic princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm doing great, Andre. Had a leg day today. It was nice to get the booty scooting. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Did. I stayed up late last night. Got up early this morning to do a live stream with Bobby and Mark, and then I've played video games and cooked turkey dinner today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Because as we record this, it's Canadian Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Which means the hours at my gym change.
Oh, okay. That's good. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
That's definitely a bad thing when I like to go early, but it's what it
Mm.
is. I don't
Yeah,
expect people to be there at 8 a.m. tomorrow anyway.
that's a good thing for you. Less people.
Very much so.
Because we all know Melball doesn't like people.
She really don't.
It sounds mean, but she likes her
Really don't.
people. She likes her people. She likes our fans. She likes you, the fans. She just doesn't like people near her especially when she's working out.
I don't like people near me, period, because
That's
people
true.
don't really know boundaries, and then they start bumping into you, and then being like, "Ah, it's my privilege to just sit here keeping bumping into you." Meanwhile, the rage inside of me
Or when you're out at an event
grows.
and creepy people just keep getting way too close to you.
Another person mysteriously tries to kiss me, and I'm just going to start punching people.
I'm down to see
Goddamn.
that. I am down to see that.
I bet you would.
Yeah.
I bet you would be. Any goozles. We're not here to talk about me
Uh,
beating people up. We're here to talk about other people beating other people up.
yeah, but maybe one day we could see you beating somebody up on the ring. You never know.
Strong pass. I know my place. My place is in a butt and a seat.
I think there's one person I think you would want to beat up in the ring, but we won't go there today.
No, there really isn't. I would love to see other people beat the shit out of other people for me. Yeah, but I'm very happy to just be a butt in a seat and a loud mouth in it at that.
There we go. There we go. So we are going to get into We're talking RCW Thanksgiving Thunder. But before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in here and checking the show out and just supporting us in general. We want to thank you very much. If you're listening, if you're seeing this, you're watching us either on Andre Melba Wrestling Talk or over on Backbreaker Video. We thank you so very much for joining us here. So if you're watching, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. We love hearing from you. We love talking to you. We love getting just the feedback on what you like and what you dislike about, mostly about me, I guess, because there's nothing to dislike about Mel, but there's a lot to dislike
That's
about
debatable.
me. Please let us know in the comments what you don't like about me, I guess. And please share it out to your friends, family, and just the creepy little weirdos that exist in this world. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Yeah.
Nah. No, thank you.
Yeah. You got to bring those creepy little weirdos in, you know?
Just because it's spooky season doesn't mean you gotta let the freak flag fly flyer. Keep it down. Jesus Christ. What did you do?
I put my Jason Voorhees mask.
Yeah, but now I got a weird noise for a second there when you hit your microphone when you try to yeet it. Don't stop that. Rude.
I am very rude.
So rude.
So let's get into it. Let's talk some RCW Thanksgiving Thunder. And it kicked off with the top championship in all of RCW, the RCW North American Championship. And it was our boy, the ultraviolet Mitch Clarke, taking on Jack Pride. Yay.
Yeah.
Ultraviolet, because Mitch Clarke is out here with
my life.
yeah, Mitch is out here with touching those violent tips. He's breaking all the hips and he's holding all of the championships.
Yes. Yes.
Again, I'm loving the return of Pride to RCW because it just and just like last month he came out had a great match last month with Sid, and then now we get him versus Mitch, and I'm just like, I am in heaven here.
Well, we both know. I mean, there are three reasons that I come to these shows. Mitch is one of them. And the last show, we had a great match between Pride and Sid
Mhm.
to kind of start off Pride's, what we'll say, comeback in RCW.
Yeah,
Mitch Clarke has just been blazing trails, I guess, with his title run here with defense after defense. I really enjoyed this match. And why don't we just start off the show
yeah.
with Mitch Clarke? Oh my life. Take
Mhm.
us into the match, man. This was fun.
Yeah, some really good spots here. At one point, Pride goes for the three amigos. He gets the first amigo, but Mitch reverses the second into a huge throw, tossing Pride across the ring, just yeets him over his head. It looked great.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So like Mitch is going for like an inverted DDT. Pride flips over him, going for an inverted DDT of his own. And Mitch flips over him and like comes down like AJ Styles. Like he does flips and goes all the way through into the inverted DDT. Looked really good. I thought there.
Hmm.
I like that
I
little one.
agree.
Um, Pride dodging a moonsault from Mitch and goes in on Mitch, just beating the heck out of him, choking him on the ropes. Pride really throwing those vicious forearms in this match. He's got good forearms. Mitch reversing a lariat into a beautiful snapdragon at one point. Pride loading up on those haluva kicks in the corner, and then gets him down in the corner and hits that running crossbody against the bottom turnbuckle.
Yes.
Uh,
That's one of my favorites that he does. It's so
yeah,
good.
I love that one. At one point, Mitch just gets a hold of Pride, just starts carrying him around, and then just Northern Light suplexes him over his head. Just a
Mhm.
power coming to this man. A Spinley Binley at one point gets reversed into the code breaker. Sorry, the Ludwig Van Driver gets reversed into a code breaker. I gotta say it right for Mitch. Come on.
You said it right the first time.
That gets it off the shoulder gut. Like he gets him up on the shoulders. The Mitch fights back and gets him back on the shoulders. We're thinking, okay, he's going for it, and then just lifts him off and just drives him in with a gut buster. Just looked great. Just looked great.
He's teasing us with it, is what he's doing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, Mitch puts Pride up top. Pride fights him off, hits a stomp off the second rope to the back of Mitch Clarke. He goes back. Um, he's just getting on the crowd, just telling just being a dick. He goes up to the like he goes up and he slips, like kind of slips going up, and the crowd
Yeah,
kind of all goes ooh at him, and he just was like
it was a gasp.
meh, and just he's like screw this, and just falls backwards off of the elbow, and I'm like, I love that, I love that.
It
Uh,
was such a nice little just spur of the moment thing, because yeah, the whole crowd was just like, "Oh!" It was like an audible gasp. Hush fell over the crowd.
and just like screw you, and just kind of went backwards into an elbow instead of
Yeah.
doing what he was gonna do. So he goes back up to the top, goes for the top rope stomp, but Mitch gets out of the way, hits a lariat, falls with the Spinley Binley Ludwig Van Driver for the win.
This was great. This is a great opener. This is a high energy. The crowd work with Pride was a nice kind of opposite kind of thing than where Mitch doesn't usually interact with the crowd unless you're really hating on him. Then he's gonna pay attention to you or us, because love of my life. Yeah. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. It really set the pace for the rest of the show and really was kind of like the start of a really, really great night. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to add to this. You kind of picked off everything I just kind of remember. I usually just go by memory for these shows.
Yeah, and I did skip the open to the show, and I kind of screwed up. There was a memorial for one
Oh
Vince
yeah.
Austin off the top of the show, who did
Mhm.
pass away last month. Yeah, last month,
Yeah.
and they did a 10 bell salute, and the crowd
Mhm.
with a round of husses for Vince, the hush,
Mhm.
hush, hush. Yeah,
Mhm.
it is kind of a nice little, beautiful little spot. And they announced that next
Mhm.
month the show will be a it'll be all proceeds from the show are going to go to the mental health charity, and
Mhm.
yeah, so it just and all the rest was going to volunteer their time, everything. So we're going to be there November 8th at
Mhm.
the Norwood Legion, and then there's the Calgary show the following weekend on the 15th. Will be the same thing. It'll be a tribute to Vince in Calgary on Saturday the 15th. So please, if you're in other city, go check that out and support a good cause.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. We are going to move on, though, moving to the second match of the show. And it was a hardcore open challenge. And it kind of got messed up right off the hop because of the production team. Goddamn production teams in wrestling.
Boys, you have one job.
Yeah.
There's two of
So,
you. One of you could have done it, right?
yeah. So, Lee brought Nate out to the ring, like, and showed him out.
And we had a nasty section.
We did. We did. I think I sent you the video. Yeah, I did. So I sent you the
I
video.
I posted it. You
Oh,
reposted it.
did I? Oh, I don't remember
Oh no,
reposting that.
wait, Nate did. Never mind, Nate did.
I didn't. I'm like, I don't remember reposting. I remember sending it to
It's
you.
because you never fucking check your Instagram.
That's very true. I'm bad at Instagram. I'm bad at all social medias, man. I'm just not good at it. It's never been my thing.
I
Um,
send you the stuff. All you need to do is check it.
it's true. So Lee brings up Nate, and he's going to give Nate the microphone, and then before he can even say anything, the the music just starts playing, and it's Barricade rolling his way out for this open challenge. And then the music changes again, and it's Moses Luke, uh, the German Juggernaut, coming out and to challenge. And then the music changes again, and it's the Canadian Goose coming out, Kyle Shaw. He rolls out to challenge for the hardcore title. And then finally, the music changes again, and it's Rick Jules making his way out for the hardcore challenge. So you see, Lee whispered to Nate, and Nate just shakes his head, and Lee decides, I guess it's gonna be a 5-way match.
It kind of threw the guys under the bus a little bit, just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with the announcement, which I appreciate because, god damn it, I have
Mm-hmm.
one job: push the button pusher.
Yeah. So there we got our match, 5-way match for the hardcore championship, and everybody's just fighting, just pure utter chaos in this match.
Glorious, glorious chaos. Yes.
Yes, the glorious good. Jules dives off the top on a barricade and Moses Luke on the floor.
Mhm.
Um, Jules just smashing the face of Barricade repeatedly with the trash can lid.
Mhm.
I was like, holy crap.
Mhm. And then
Uh,
later they were like almost having like a sword and board kind of battle where like Barricade was going after Jules with the kendo stick and Jules was kind of Captain Americaing that shit. That must have been one hell of a freaking trash can because man, Barricade's a big guy and he's got a good swing power. He was probably swinging on pretty good. The fact that that can was in one piece,
yeah.
goddamn,
And
where did they come from?
Barricade Ted is pretty goddamn hard and pretty goddamn thick. So it's gonna that head is gonna do some damage to that trash can lid.
Yeah, that lid was holding up real good, all things considering. I was impressed.
Yeah,
Good job, lid.
Nate gets Goose in the ropes and gets the nasty German through the ropes. I love that move.
Yes. So
Um,
good.
Gets in, wrecking house, taking out Nate and Goose. Um, yeah, he gets a beautiful Samoan drop to Nate, but then Jules comes in with just a running kick to the face of Barricade. Um, Jules goes up to the second, goes for deep impact to Goose, and it looked odd. the diving DDT.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little odd. Let's just say that.
I didn't like. I actually turned to you because I was like, "What was that supposed to be?" Because I
And
wasn't quite sure. And when you told me it was Deep Impact, I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, like
okay.
it looked like Deep Impact, like Yoshinobu Kanemaru's Deep Impact, that diving DDT, but
Whatever it
uh,
was effective.
it worked. Goose was like was flopping all around.
Goose was
Um,
goosing.
Yep. Jules then follows up with a spear for 2. Nate hits an elbow to Jules and follows it up with the air raid crash. Um, Goose starts throwing headbutts at Nate. Pulls out Mr. Flacco and gets Nate with the mandible claw, and the mandible claw suplex over his head for 2. Um, Nate comes back with a nasty knee to Goose, unloads strikes, and gets the power slam, but only gets 2. Moose ends up tripping up Nate, pulls him into the post, crotch first, then just smacks him with the cookie sheet. It was just with Nate's cookie sheet too. It's a nasty
Mm-hmm.
cookie sheet. Um, Moses is in. He slams Goose, and then he goes and hits the Cradle Shock, or Mel would know, Miramare Shock.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, but Nate then attacks him, breaking up the pin with the cookie sheet, and follows it up with hitting Buck Nasty for the win.
Mm-hmm. This was fun. This was another glorious kind of chaos thing. Yeah, the beginning was a little fuddle-duddled,
Mm.
but the match we ended up getting out of it, the way they kind of just improvised it, the crowd had a great time with this match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I liked also how they just kind of would take random people out, beat them up enough, throw them to the outside, and enough attention on things was drawn into the ring that you weren't really paying attention to who was crawling around on the outside. I
Mm.
also like that at no point were these guys sitting there like on the ring looking in waiting for things to happen. I really appreciated the organicness of this match. Also appreciated seeing the Huss written across Barricade's face there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Maybe it's just that I haven't seen it done before. I didn't know about Goose's Mr. Flacco. I've never seen him do that before. So that was like
Yeah.
a fun little excitable thing for me because Nathan knew exactly what was going on. He's losing his shit. And I'm like, why are we getting excited?
Well, Flacco, I
What?
think, is a Thursday night LPW guest. Has been lately on the Thursday night
Oh,
LPW shows. That's where Mr. Flacco's been showing up. So
oh, okay, okay. So that makes
yeah,
sense. Okay.
yeah.
Well, even the one we went to, though, I don't remember seeing him there.
No, like he's fairly new. He's a fairly new guest of the LPWC
Oh,
Clandestine Wrestling Society shows. But yeah,
okay. Okay.
he's a fairly
Okay.
new guest there. I know
Mm,
he has made an appearance a long time ago, but then Mr. Flacco
mm.
went away, and now he's back. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, it is the migration season, so it makes
it
sense.
is. It is.
Mhm,
And then after the match, Nate did lead us in a hush chant for Vince
mhm,
Austin, just to, like a tribute to the man who was very hardcore himself.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
True facts, true facts. I
Then we
like
move
that
on.
belt
Oh
also.
yeah. Oh, beautiful. Is gorgeous.
That championship is very, very nice. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
We move on. Submission match. It is Kat Von Hees taking on Ginha. They are tied 1-1. This is the rubber match, and it's all come down to submissions. Ginha is all in, targeting the arm throughout the match. Is
Mhm,
his finish? It seems like his move is an armbar. That is what he's working here. Kat, though, she's really using her power throughout to really fight back against Skinhut, because
mhm.
he is taller, but she is. I think she's got the power advantage. It's like,
100%.
yeah. Um, uh, Cat at one point stops, or he gets like he's working the hot shot into the ropes on the arms, and he's just smashing
Mhm,
the arm into everything. Cat stops for Trinity DDT into a Northern Lights, goes for a sharpshooter, but Ginha does fight it off and just goes back to attack. Like he up kicks the arm and everything. She does get the sharpshooter on at one point, but Ginha does get to the ropes. Ginha, those slaps. Holy man, he got slaps, man. He got slaps and chops, man. He's got some power in those.
Yeah, I mean, the lucha background, the lucha libre style is known for its chops. And you've seen the difference between the regular chops and the Mexican chops. Those Mexican chops are just, they're nastier. No pun intended.
Well, Penta. Think about Penta El Zero. He, even with a glove on, those chops sound just nasty. Then he'll take the glove off for that final chop, and it's just gross. It's just gross.
Well, let's just hop back to the best of the Super Juniors, Hiromu Takahashi versus his own partner, Teton. You see Hiromu throwing the regular chops. You see Teton throwing the Mexican style. You heard and felt the Mexican style in your soul. Regular chops are just as nasty, but the Mexican chops. But then to have that, he's the luchador, right? The British luchador. So then you can combine that with the strength and power of that British strong style, who are known for their chops and strikes. Look at Zack Sabre Jr. Look at Chris Brooks. They're also very, very chop happy, and also too very British strong style Brits. This is like a tattooed, masked Osprey, or not Osprey, Zack Sabre Jr.
Just not quite as good, but
Fair,
I like him. He's developing very well. Don't get me wrong, but he's got some stuff to him. Ginha goes for this the Minoru Suzuki over the top rope arm bar over the top rope.
Yeah.
But Kata is having none of that, and she just takes him and yeets him across across the ring. It was great.
I think I was at the concession time at that point, and I felt the vibration of that land in the floor. It was tremendous.
Yeah. Ginha slips out of a power slam and hits a hammerlock armbar. Gets her down to the hammerlock, gets the armbar, and goes back with that penta arm snap. Oh Jesus! Both me and Nate were like, "Oh no!" But he did that. We both hit the reaction to that. It was just gross. It's just gross.
Yeah, it's naughty, not niceness.
Yeah. He goes for a drop kick off the second rope, but Cat reverses it into a sharpshooter, leans back, grabs the head, and Ginha is forced to submit. Kat Von Heez is your winner.
Yes. Yes, queen. This was a great match. I've really been enjoying the little kind of story that these two have been quietly telling the last couple of months here at RCW. It's kind of been like one of the only stories they kind of have in RCW that they're not really sensationalizing. And I don't know why, because this is actually really fun, really exciting. And especially like, it, as you mentioned, I mean, Ginha is slap happy. He's very much like, there's a fine line here in wrestling where you got to watch what you're doing when you're wrestling with a woman, but not Kat Von Heez is a whole nother woman entirely. This is not a woman I'd want to stand across the ring from. I'd want to be in her corner for sure. This has been a really interesting little development, though, and I'm excited to see if they keep this going. Because I personally wouldn't be mad about seeing it and seeing another kind of stipulation match. I'm just curious to see what they would do or where they would go from here.
Yeah, I could honestly see them going again because I think they have had some really good flow here and really good I don't know. I really enjoyed these two working together.
Yeah, I like it when I see a match card with these two on it because I know it's going to be a fun and exciting match. It's going to get the crowd going because the crowd is very, very solidly behind Kat. The crowd very, very solidly not behind Ginha. It's great.
Yeah, in the couple of months that he's been here, he has this crowd hating him. Like they hate this man. Like to come out like pretty much to like unknown to this crowd a couple months ago, and now
Mhm,
having this crowd hate him to the degree they do, it's absolute
mhm.
perfection.
I go to something that you had actually said after the show when you were actually talking about Fusion, and I wanted to kind of relate the same sentiment to him, is that it's so crazy to think that someone who has literally had the one thing that you could actually convey emotion and charisma with in your face, you're covering it up with a mask. And how is it that you are able to captivate the crowd so effortlessly with everything else? It's so crazy.
It's the like I see it in Ginha and I see it in Fusion. It's that full
Mhm,
body expressivity. It's how they wave their arms. It's how they like just block, like how they block themselves to the crowd, like how they stand towards the crowd. And is their stance aggressive? Are they
mhm,
are they like at the crowd? Or are they like at the crowd? Like they have that. They make you feel just the way they position their body. It's how they move, how
mhm,
they like express themselves with everything except the head. In it's so weird, man. But it's so well done.
mhm. With
Yeah.
him also, I feel like, and we also saw it with Fusion, it just on a different way because Fusion is very much a face, and Ginhai is obviously is it Ginha or Ginna?
I'm calling him Ginha.
Okay, well, Red Devil looking guy. He's very obviously a heel. And what I love is that when the crowd starts booing him, he really latches on to it and much like how Mitch does when someone's antagonizing him in his matches, he latches onto it and really sensationalizes it and really plays off of it and does even more like dirty, nasty, not nice things to make the crowd hate him and boo him even more. And he just seems to play off of it in the opposite way that Fusion does, that we'll talk about later in the show.
Mhm. Very much so. So we move on to the not poison choice match, but the match for the RCW International Tag Team Championships, the only real tag team championships in RCW, obviously, because the other ones haven't been defended in months. So those titles to me no longer exist.
You know what?
At least in
Don't
Edmonton.
even mention them because you know what brings that one?
I'm
Don't
not
we're
saying their
good.
name. I'm not saying their names. I'm just saying.
We don't need them to Joe Hendry us.
Nope. Please God, no. We get for the RCW International Tag Team Championships. It is Rich King and T.Y. Jackson, the Radz, because they're they're touching tips, shaking hips, and winning all the championships. Taking on JJ Spade and the returning Dean Richtor. So happy to see that.
Yes.
The return of Dean.
What did we call this team combo when we were at the show?
I don't know.
I think we called
Combo name?
them no, you guys were chanting fisting.
Yeah, but that's for Dean. It's like,
Oh, sweet Jesus. I think we were calling it
we were
fisting
chanting
spades or
time
something like
to
that.
fist. We were chanting time
Yeah,
to fist. Because
and I'm just sitting there mortified.
Dean's
Jesus.
always Dean's always fisting in the air, man.
I know, I'm the one who pointed it out.
Oh, you
Much to
created
my
a monster.
dismay.
You
I
created a
I
monster.
did.
Because
I really did.
if Dean shows up at ours at LPW in 2 weeks, me and Nate are going to be chanting let's time the fist.
We may as well. It's Halloween anyway. We got 2 moons, I guess.
Yep. So we get into it again. Really good match. Rich and Dean going back and forth early. Rich just hits a suplex. Dean ends up rolling the outside. Rich like teases going for a dive, and he's just like, nah, and just tags in Ty who goes for the dive. But Dean runs away from Ty, doesn't hit the dive here. But I love Rich just like teasing the dive and going, nah, and tagging Ty to do the dive.
Well, and I was sitting there thinking about it after, I'm like, Rich doesn't dive, does he? I don't recall ever seeing him do dives. I know he does, like, jumps off the top rope and stuff, but, like, he doesn't do dives.
Yeah, he like jumps. He'll come off like the second or the top into the ring, or jump over the
Yeah,
top rope to hit his final beat DDT from the apron.
yeah.
But he doesn't do like diving stuff. I don't blame him. I don't think I would do dives if I was a wrestler. Like, if I was
Well,
even,
yeah.
I wouldn't. No, no thanks.
Remember, every time now we see it, we're like, catch that TY.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. JJ and TY going back and forth at one point. JJ gets a beautiful monkey flip to TY. It looked really good there. A lot of good stuff. Dean gets Rich seated in the corner, hits that hesitation drop kick. Then he hits this big German for two. But the best story about this entire match was Dean Richtor's inability to follow the rules and JJ's uh, reluctance to break the rules. And
It was definitely a reluctant team for sure.
it was absolute perfection because Dean's like pulling Ben, the ref, into the corner, like getting him distracted and like telling him to do stuff to, I can't think it was the TY. And he's like this, and he like starts going like a choking motion, and Ben like stands up and turns, and like he's like his like Dean's hands are like right at Ben's neck. Oh my god, it was absolute perfection. And like Dean
It
is
was
so
so good.
like Dean is getting more and more frustrated as this match is going on with the fact that JJ will not cheat, and it's so good.
Yeah, it was a really fun little story that they just kind of randomly told in this match. We kind of figured something like this was happening, but we didn't expect the way it ended up playing out. And man, was it just a treat to
Yeah,
just watch.
point where JJ punches Dean after Rich gets out of the way,
Mm.
and JJ's taken out, and Rich gets his final beat DDT. Just such good stuff in here. Ty drop kicks the knee of Dean, getting him down to his like he was on hands on fours, and Ty off the back of Dean to hit the poetry in motion to JJ in the corner. Looked
Mhm.
great. Um, just really good stuff. Ty ends up kicking Dean from the apron at one point in the corner. Rich falls with the tornado DDT, and Ty hits a beautiful moonsault for two. Um, it just Dean fighting off the double team, tags in JJ, hits a strike, and he drops Rich, and JJ hits the frog splash off the top for two. The end of this match comes though. JJ drop kicks Dean off the top when Dean was holding Rich, and Rich got out of the way. The end of drop kicking him. Ty gets tagged in. Ty hits a tope con hilo to Dean and JJ both on the floor. They bring Dean back in. Olympic slam by Rich into the Swanton by T.Y. Jackson, and the Radz retain the RCW International Tag Team Championships.
Hi.
Yeah.
There wasn't any doubt. This is the real tip touchers,
Yep.
not
Not that
those.
not those MXM poser wannabes who steal gimmicks from great tag teams in Alberta.
They know good shit when they see it.
Mm.
Um, anyway, this was a fun match. Obviously, we love watching the Rads. Um, I was really impressed actually with the story that was told, as we mentioned throughout this with JJ and Dean. It was similar but different to the story that was told when they kind of did the similar story a few months ago with Martins and Dalton
Mm.
taking on Kamikaze and Cody Mac. Have we seen both of those matches already? I feel like we have. I think Calgary got Dalton versus Cody.
Probably.
I don't think did we get Martins versus Cam? I can't remember. We watch so much wrestling. Anyway,
Pretty sure we have.
I feel like we have also. Um, so it wasn't a poison match. It was just for the tag titles. Oh,
When
I
Lee
mean,
made
not
the
that it
announcement, there
mattered.
was no announcement about the poison choice. So
Interesting. I don't know. We'll go with it. I mean, I want to also say I was impressed that every match that was announced for the show actually happened. That's a rarity. I was super excited for all of the match cards too, but I was like, which one of these is not going to happen? All of them happened. Freaking stoked about that. Good job. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to this. It was just a really fun ride watching the chaos between Richtor and JJ versus just the just camaraderie of the Radz was just so fun. I love the story it created. I'm curious to see, especially because afterwards, there was a little bit of
Kerfluffle?
not, yeah, we'll say disagreement from JJ and Richtor. So we'll kind of see how that goes.
So yeah, the Radz did celebrate after the match. They leave, and then JJ and Dean start shoving each other, arguing. Dean hugs JJ and like holds the hug for a little bit, and you see JJ kind of like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like he's like this is like your face, look on his face, like, "What the hell's going on?" We're all yelling, "Don't trust him!" And he then belly to bellies him, attacks him. Ben pulls him off of JJ. JJ then spears Dean and starts attacking him, but Dean like wriggles his way out and gets out of the ring, running to the back. And it looks like this might be a thing. I'd be really happy to see this on that November 8th show. Let's go.
I would also fisting versus JJ. Let's go. A
Yeah,
good match.
fist. Yeah, fisting. He's gonna fist that Spade. I don't know.
I have no comment on that. Because what do you say?
What do you say? Do you say what do you say? Do you say?
I don't know what we're doing right now. What's going on?
I'm going insane. We move on to Harlon Abbott versus Son of Irish. I gotta give props to our buddy Jason coming dressing up as Macho Juice tonight. Our buddy
Yeah.
Jason, but I made a joke to him that he's dressed up as soy juice, and he's like, "No, soy boy is the worst."
Aw, poor soy boy.
Oh yeah,
He
poor
doesn't like
yeah,
Mitch.
poor
He
soy
doesn't
boy.
like soy boy Jason.
Why are we friends with him? Like,
Because we
dude,
love Jason.
yeah, but if he hates on the people that we love, can we love him? That's the real question.
Well,
Jason, you might have
sir, we have had some very big disagreements on wrestlers and who is good and who is not. So, like, how are we friends?
yeah, I guess so. This match is pretty goddamn phenomenal. Like these two,
Yeah.
we've seen them go uh in RCW in the past. We've seen them had that they had that incredible match at Top Talent. Was it last year or earlier this year? I can't remember when
There's
it
this
was.
year.
Yeah, dude, these two are just have it, and they killed it. Took it here, killing it again. The chops here from Harlan, and then the churn chops from Soy Boy were just crazy. Um, just the crazy stuff they're doing. Soy Boy gets that phenomenal forearm off the top rope from the apron for 2 at one point. Like they're just going insane, man. Soy Boy getting that beautiful satellite DDT to Harlan.
Mhm.
Soy Boy hits a tope suicida right into it to Harlot, into Shauna and her crew on the opposite side of the ring.
Yeah.
That was nuts. Yeah,
I love
just
that it was just so perfect too that she didn't even have to move. She just chilled.
yeah, yeah. Harlan really showing off his athletic skills, doing that flip kip up in this match, where the front flip kip up from the ground. I was like, ooh, he's got that.
He's got a pretty strong neck, that one.
Yeah, I was just really impressed. I don't know if I've seen him do it before. He gets Soy Boy in the corner, hits that corner ensecurity, follows it up with the X-Plex, which is like the suplex that he just lets like that like Moxley does, where he just releases. Um,
Mm.
I fucking love that move. Um, great spot. Soy Boy goes for the standing Shinrai, which is like the standing sliced bread. He goes up, but then Harlan just lets him go and just catches him and just spins and hits that tombstone. The
Mhm.
transition to reverse that was absolute perfection.
Yes, very much so.
That was it's a great spot. So he ends up on the apron, hits a kick, then hits a phenomenal cutter, like phenomenal forearm style, bounces, comes up, goes off the top rope, but then comes through with the cutter. I was like, oh, that was really good.
Mhm.
F5 gets reversed into an enziguri. They do a series of reversals that ends with Soy Boy hitting a tiger bomb for 2. This end of this match, though, Soy Boy goes to the top. Harlon cuts him off, comes up, hits a pump handle suplex off the top. He then picks him up. He hits him with the healing driver for the win. And if that's not what you call it, Harlon, please tell me. I'm just calling it a healing driver because I don't know what else to name it.
Some of the guys have reached out to you and told you their
Well,
moves, their
one
proper
wrestler
moves.
after the show said he was gonna send me the proper, like, his name for his moves, but he still hasn't messaged me.
Yeah, well, you're probably still gonna be waiting.
Uh,
That one's phenomenal for getting in touch with you.
yeah, this crowd though, like, they were back and forth.
What?
Like our section was very pro Soy Boy. I was hearing
Mhm,
pro Harlan chants from other sides, but like, man, this crowd was really back and forth. And like,
mhm,
uh Stang, Jason, and that crew really had the hate on for Soy Boy. I could see them; they were flipping him off throughout the match and
mhm.
just getting at him. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Mhm.
that's what you do when you're a good heel, when you're a good face. You get the crowd going. I mean, Son of Irish came out beaking at everybody and sticking his fingers in people's faces, so of course he's gonna get a return on receipt on that. He's doing pretty good with the heel stuff. It just I had a great time with this match. I don't have anything else to add to it.
Yeah. So we went to intermission, then we came back to Teddy Hart making his way out.
Mhm.
And he cut a promo about life and death and a bunch of other stuff that I really was like, and can we see some wrestling, please? Um, I don't know. I've heard him ramble on in so many nonsensical promos that I'm just like, okay, great. It was a good promo, I guess. Slammer and Sid Green make their way out. Teddy's talking a bit of shit to Slammer. And then Slammer gets the mic. He says, to make it to Valhalla, you need to die fighting. He said, Vince Austin died fighting. And he says, tonight, someone will die fighting. Then Teddy says, he did bring a partner. He's got a partner in the back. And then it's meow 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 meow. It's Kato, ladies and gentlemen, coming out with his tribute to Tiger Mask, that wearing the Tiger Mask style mask on his head tonight. And
Mhm.
I'm like, holy shit, I haven't seen this guy wrestle in a long time.
Mhm. Been a hot minute. We've seen him at the shows in
Mm-hmm.
the crowd, but we haven't seen him in the ring in quite some time.
Yeah. So the match is made. It is Teddy Hart and Kato taking on the team of Slammer and Sid Green, who we just watched 2 weeks ago beat the hell out of each other. I guess
I mean, there's the continuity that we get sometimes with this company, though, where
maybe they
they scrap
bonded too much.
things and think that we won't remember or something.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
they
know.
bonded through violence. I don't know.
I mean, I don't, the Dillwood show is a different, I think, territory, we'll say, because there are a lot of people doing different things there that weren't
Yeah,
normal because, Rich and TY were heels there, whereas their faces here. So, like, maybe
it was in
maybe
a
they
good.
were like not okay a couple weeks ago, but now they're like they've had a few beers and they're good or something.
Might be an alternate universe. It might be an alternate universe version of
Sure, we'll
RCW.
bring that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring in your Marvel Universe stuff. Why not, you?
We're on Earth 1. That Delwood and what took place on Earth 5 or something. I don't know.
That's Earth 5 Slammer and Earth 1 Sid. Okay.
But yeah, so we get into it. It's a tag match. Good stuff throughout. Kato looking like just this really nice rope, like where the suplex where you lift him up, then you bounce him off the top rope and back to Sid. I thought that looked really good.
Mhm.
Sid and Slammer double teaming Kato for a while throughout this match. Slammer
Mhm.
gets a choke slam to Kato. He gets that Tower of London style stunner from the top
Mhm.
rope there. Kato fighting back, takes out Sid accidentally. Sid attacking Teddy from the outside to stop Kato from tagging out. Slammer gets him up with an F10, just launching him. Teddy eventually gets tagged in, so it's running through everybody. Teddy hits a lung blower powerbomb to Sid. Everyone fighting to the floor. Teddy hits an acai moonsault to everyone on the floor. Teddy ends up setting up some chairs on the floor and suplexes Sid onto the chairs that the fans are sitting on. And these are solid chairs. These aren't like folding chairs. These are solid,
Mhm.
like hall chairs. And goddamn, that did not look pretty. Yeah, and just a bunch of crazy stuff here. Like it was this weird spot where like Sid and Slammer are through the ropes and Teddy's like up and Kato comes off the top, grabbing Teddy, forcing him down to like hit like a double hangman's DDT. That was a weird one. I was like, okay.
I think there was potentially a sense of unwillingness on one of or two of the people involved to do the move.
Yeah. So we Teddy there was a spot where they all fight outside and I'm just like, all
We
right.
don't know what happened because we didn't leave our seats.
Yeah, it's not like we have a Titantron or anything where it's a camera feed. It's just
Although we did have a camera crew. That's rare.
yeah, big tall giant guy named Andrew. He was,
No.
oh
The guy there was a guy with the little camera running around. Remember John?
oh yeah, but I know Andrew was filming a lot of shit throughout the night
Yeah,
too.
I know, because when we were booing the hell out of the people in the last match, he came over and filmed us booing.
That is very true. That is very true.
Because suddenly there was a camera in my face.
um, uh, Teddy hits a diving DDT to Slammer. He then gets a bear hug to Sid and into the cradle hammerlock DDT. Uh, Kato hits a rope walk into a stunner, and then Teddy to Sid, and then Teddy coming off the top into a Canadian destroyer to Sid Greed for the win.
I posted.
Yeah, Sid took some punishment in this.
Yeah, it was Sid and Kato who kind of got both worked over in this match quite a bit, while Slammer and Teddy kind of got the sparkle, we'll say.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I had fun with this one. I mean, it, it it wasn't one of the ones that enraptured me for the night, but considering the rest of the night that had happened, I was really exhausted emotionally by the time we got to this. Um, but yeah, I had a great time with it. It was really cool to see Teddy. The last time I'd seen him was the Nate show that he worked against Michael Richard Blaze. That was the last time I personally saw him.
that might be the last time I saw him too.
Yeah. And ironically, I think I turned to you earlier in that night because the other Melball was messaging me as well. And I was like, it's so ironic that she's messaging me right now because the last wrestling show that she came out to live, she came with her daughter, Charlotte, who's still a baby, and Teddy Hart was working that show.
Hmm.
It was so funny. The irony. It was
No, I'm just
cool.
yeah. That is kind of funny because like Teddy really hasn't wrestled in the last few years much.
Mhm.
Like he's had like this little RCW run is the first, like at least for according to Cage Match, which is only as accurate as people who are reporting results from shows. He according to Cage Match, these are the only 3 matches he's worked officially this year. He had, according to Cage Match, 1 official match last year. And then that was 2020. So yeah.
The wrestling was pretty solid. I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Build-wise, he looked great. Sparkle pants were very I wanted to put them on chic to
Yeah.
match his boots.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Kato. I love seeing Sid. Fucking
Yeah.
Slammer was there too.
Yeah.
Take us into what happened
I,
at the end
I'm
there.
I'm looking at Teddy's cage match, and yeah, the last time he was here was in Alberta before this little run was 2019 for that ladder match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So post match, Slammer decides to start F10ing Sid over and over and over again, and Bobby Sharp returns. He makes the save, saving Sid. And Slammer grabs a chair as he's trying to fend off the lion because he's got the legs first. You had Nate had made that joke, and I thought it was pretty good.
Nate, that was all Nate. I was just a happy bystander in that one.
Yeah. So Bobby gets the mic, said he's healthy, and he wants to tribute Vince Austin next month at the November 8th show by challenging Slammer to one of Vince's favorite gimmicks, the steel chain. And it's gonna be a steel chain match. So yeah, then Slammer said he said
He said stuff.
he said stuff that just sounded really creepy. How he responded, and he accepted the match. He essentially said that whips and chains excite him. So yeah,
I remember because I turned to you at that point and I was like,
yeah,
I thought this was a family show.
yeah.
But like, I mean, he comes out wearing like BDSM cape. So like,
Has me.
yeah, I'm interested. I'm curious. I mean, it's gonna be great to see Bob back. Looks like he's in great shape. I was gonna say also Teddy's looking like he's in pretty great shape as well.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for the guy who hasn't wrestled in how long, like the guy is always like the guy is a natural talent. The same way we look at Son of Irish, Teddy Hart is
Mm,
the same way. The man, like both of them grew up in wrestling. Everything about their life,
mm,
professional wrestling growing up. So it's not surprising that like the man can be away for that long and still come back and still be so smooth. And
mm.
I gotta believe this man, wherever he's living, wherever he lives, has a wrestling ring in his basement or in his backyard or something, and is constantly training and doing something because there's no way you're that good if you aren't doing something.
Constantly
Yeah, I have
doing and grinding, and yeah, that's how you get better at this. Shocking.
to. Mm-hmm.
Perpetual practice.
Yep.
Am I
So
being
we move on.
sarcastic?
Semi-main event of the evening. It is for the RCW
Yay.
Heritage Championship. It is Cody Mac defending against Christian Starr, and the RCW Heritage Championship has specialty rules, and one of them is a 10-minute time limit.
Mhm.
We have a new nickname for Mr. Cody Mac. I don't know if you guys had brought this up to him in person because we were
We did.
chatting.
We
Okay.
did. He thought it was hilarious.
So we have our new champion, Mr. Roman Riggs. Oh,
I kill myself. That was Mike.
well,
Mike who came up with that one.
what wasn't it originally Oily Reigns, and then it became Roman Riggs? I think it was. I think he was calling him Oily
I
Reigns.
don't know what the first one was. No.
I heard
We said
Oily Reigns, and then I heard Roman Riggs, and I'm like, that's way
I
better.
don't I didn't hear that first one. No, because we were just saying that the hair was very Roman Reigns reminiscent.
Yeah,
Then it turned
one of
into
them.
Roman Riggs.
I thought one of them said called him Oily Reigns first, and then I heard Roman Riggs. So
I did not hear. Cannot confirm.
So we get the code of honor before the match. They shake hands.
Mhm.
Good sportsmanship. Cody using this. I didn't take honestly, dude. I barely have any notes for this match. That's weird. I must have just been really into this match.
It was a really good match.
Oh yeah. Um, Mac using the power and size advantage that he has here.
Mhm.
Hitting a beautiful head scissors, then hits that springboard head scissors, sending Cody to the floor. Hits that tope suicida. Mac gets back in the ring, and he's getting the chops in the corner and hits a hard whip into the corner and the lariat and the suplex for 2. Starr fighting back, misses a drop kick, and Cody hits his first pump kick, and I know he has a name for it, but he still hasn't sent me it, and I don't remember because
Pretty sure he told you and you just forgot also.
Well, he
But
started
I
listing.
also forgot.
He started listing, and I'm like, okay, just message me this. It'll be a lot easier if I have it written down so I can put it all into my notes. And he never messaged me. So
Andre with
I
the
know.
pettiness.
I know his lariats are called pipelines. So he's hitting those. He's hitting a lot of pipelines in this match. So yeah,
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair.
I do remember that one. Starr fights off the shoulder, and he hits a superstar cutter. The super os cutter. See, I'm giving it a name. I'm just making sure people understand what move it is. But he hits the
It's
super
fair.
star cutter
It's fair.
for 2. End of this match comes. Mac puts Starr up top. Starr's fighting him off, but Cody fights back. We get to 1 minute remaining. They're fighting. Starr knocks him off the top, and he stands up, hits a 450 splash, and then 1, 2, ding, 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 ding. And the time limit expires as the ref was counting to 3. And Cody Mac is officially your winner because just like Jeff Cobb, if you get to the time limit, the champion is officially your winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy, was the crowd pissed.
Ooh.
Oh, we were mad. I
Yeah.
echo that sentiment. I was like, the fuck? And then you were like, oh yeah, 10-minute time limit. I'm like, the fuck? No way. That did not feel like 10 minutes. It felt like so quick. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a really, really fun match, though. I mean, the combination of the two styles, as you mentioned, that power kind of background with Mac versus that kind of aerial tendency of Christian Starr. We saw Starr also continuing to work very hard with his crowd interaction throughout this match, trying to get the crowd fired up. I mean, he didn't have to try hard. We were excited for this one. Yeah, I had a really, really good time with this one, but man, I was pissed about the end, but that means that we have the opportunity to what's the phrase you always use? Run it back
Yeah, run it back. Please
again?
God. Oh, please God, run it
Yeah.
back. And maybe, maybe make that 10 minutes a 15-minute time limit next time. Like, man, these
I
two
wouldn't
were
be
so good, dude.
mad. I
No.
wouldn't be mad. Because how strong do both of these guys look coming out of this? The champion being able to outlast the challenger and the challenger taking the champion pretty much literally to the time limit. Because who's to say if Cody Mac would have been able to kick out of there?
Yeah. That was a
Didn't
pretty
look like
solid
he was
450.
actually able to.
Yeah. It was a solid
And
450.
kudos to Ben for stopping the count right when he needed to. That was just everything was so perfect about this match.
But
Except
that's
for
yeah,
it's Ben, I know.
that's just a good ref right there, man. That's just a good ref.
Senior official.
And we were sitting next to an LPW official too. And we were
We
complaining
were.
about the other official on the show to that official.
Well, you did at one point in the next match start a kill Smalls, murder Smalls
No, that was in the
chant.
one before this.
Was it?
Because Ben did the last 2 matches. Pretty sure Ben did the main event. I could be wrong. But I did chant death
Murder
to Smalls.
Smalls.
No, death
Yeah.
to Smalls. Death to Smalls. So it doesn't mean he has to be
This is a
murdered. Maybe
children's show, in case you
maybe
guys didn't know that
maybe
also.
maybe a heart attack, maybe he falls off a cliff. We don't know. I'm not saying somebody should kill him. Just death to Smalls.
Bruh! Ah, horrible. Horrible. Andre. This is why Smalls always comes to say hi to me.
I didn't say murder. I never said murder. I just said death.
Oh,
Death,
Lord. You have
death,
anything
death,
else to
Fusion
say on
death,
this?
death, death.
You wanna
Death.
sick the clown on him?
That
You
would
know
be
what? That would actually be an appropriate punishment.
that
The
would be an
Smalls
appropriate death.
has effed around a little bit.
Yeah, maybe that's what I was chanting for, was for Fukikin death, not actual death.
His random, like, yeeting into the way of things randomly is kind of a little sus.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
we
anywho's
move
next.
on. Main event of the evening. It is for the RCW British Commonwealth Championship. It is
Mhm.
Kamikaze versus defending against Fusion, the man I used to call
Yeah,
fun because I'm an ass, but he's Fusion.
you're
Um,
right.
uh, uh, dude, these two complement it. And I said this to Cam after the show. It was like watching young Cam versus now Cam. Because like Cam in those early days
Oh.
when he was wearing the mask back in PWA and those early days when I was watching him, he was very much a flyer. He was flipping
Mhm.
around, doing a lot of lucha stuff. That was his influence. And then when he made his return last year to professional wrestling, he went to train in England and learned that British strong style, and has very much still see the lucha in him in some of the things
Mhm.
he does, but he's gotten very more technical in a lot of things he does. So it was like
Mhm.
watching a young Cam versus an older Cam, and I loved this match. I was so blown away by how good this was.
Mhm, mhm. This is the charisma that we were mentioning in here because we got two super, super, super charismatic people. I would say arguably the most charismatic people in this company, maybe with a couple others underneath there, like the Radz or maybe Harlon. But like the effortlessness that Fusion had with this crowd, it was fascinating because when he came in, not a lot of people were too excited to see Fusion, but we were excited because we've already seen him. We knew what to expect. Cam came in and he had the crowd in his hands. Somehow, throughout this match, Fusion stole the crowd from Cam. And the crowd was booing Cam and cheering Fusion. It was phenomenal. But
Yeah.
both these guys did so good. Take us into it, man, because I'll just
And
ramble.
And you can see it in Cam throughout the match. You can see the man getting angrier and angrier and getting
Yeah.
more vicious. Like he was getting more vicious with his chops. He was just
Mhm,
like laying more boots in. He was getting so much more like mean with everything. There's a spot where they're both kind of
mhm,
like flipping around, avoiding each other, and then they both go to boot and they catch each other's kicks, and as they're putting each other's foot. As soon as they put the feet down, Fusion just hops up and drop kicks Cam out of the ring. I was like, and that was kind of the start of Cam going, "You son of a bitch, you son of a bitch," and just like getting a little bit angry every little bit, and that's where it kind of
mhm,
started. There's a snapmare, and then Cam jumps up onto the second, then jumps like almost coffin drop style, but turned to the last second into the leg drop to a seated fusion. I love that. I love that move. Fusion with that beautiful handspring back elbow and follows it up with a Hurricane Rana. Just so
mhm,
smooth. Um, Cam climbing up to the top, but uh, Fusion insecures him, and then Rana's him off the top for two. Um, Fusion's going for a move, but Cam reverses it into a pump handle Michinoku driver, but he ends up missing the moonsault off the top. He misses the moonsault off the top, and then goes back up, hits the second moonsault off the second turnbuckle, and he gets to. Fusion sends Cam out and hits this Bushi like rocket tope Sita to the floor. And then they start fighting on the floor. And Fusion goes to whip Cam into the wall, and Cam runs up the wall, backflips off, grabs Fusion, and just rams Fusion right into the wall. And it's like a brick like mold on the wall, so it did not look comfortable to hit. He then tosses him back in, goes to the top, front flip leg drop off the top for the win. God damn, was this freaking good.
yeah. This is an amazing match, an amazing way to top off this show, like from start to finish. The show is just really, really solid. I've really appreciated the little micro stories that happened throughout the night. My complaints on that. We can talk about that after. But with this match in particular, Fusion again, I mentioned he kind of captivated and pulled the crowd away from Cam. Man, was he charismatic behind that mask. Just getting everybody to chant for him. The crowd interaction was great. But Cam is also really, really great at interacting with the crowd, but he kind of like almost at some point in time accepted that he was working the heel in this one. And we've seen it with a couple guys who are usually faces here, where they just kind of accept it and work with it. We've seen it with Cody Mac a couple times. Now we're seeing it with Cam, and they do tag with RCW more in like the South, in like Calgary Toolshed, as well as Pure Power Wrestling. So it's interesting to see the change in the character, just the alteration, whether it be temporary or permanent. Um, yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to add to this. I just enjoyed this whole show. I was just like a little kid in a candy store. Just, oh my God, this is phenomenal. For the rest of the show, it was great. I even
Yeah,
got a
like
T-shirt.
yeah, and like this main event just capped off what was like. I'll argue this is might be some of the best from top to bottom indie wrestling going on right now. Um, it just everything delivered for me. Nothing
Hmm.
show lost me.
Hmm.
Like, and I just don't get me wrong. Top Talent has just amazing cards they put on. Love Pro Wrestling puts on amazing cards.
Hmm.
I think it's had so much. This is one of the best shows I've been to in all year. I just I absolutely love these guys in here. I thought it was great.
Hmm. Well, there we can. I'm sure at the end of the year have a discussion show about the indie shows that are kind of going on here, but each one kind of has their little thing that kind of makes them very endearing or just kind of brings it more near and dear to one of or both of our hearts. And with the RCW shows at the Norwood, it's definitely a smaller venue, so I feel like we get a bit more of an intimate feel, not just with our friends and the people around us, but with the show in general, because it's easier to get into that mob mentality when you're
Mhm.
crammed into a room with like how many do you think were in there? Because that room was packed. There were people even just standing behind us. There was no room.
Oh yeah, there's people sitting on the stage behind us, standing
Yeah.
all around the building. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was packed, man. This crowd,
Absolutely packed.
these people were there to watch some wrestling, man.
Yeah, and boy, did they get a show. So again, the matches were solid. There was a great marketing background that went into it where, like, again, the matches that all were announced all happened in pretty much the way that I assume they were supposed to.
Mhm.
Um, Everything about this was so organized, so good, except production with their little nasty Nate kind of kerflub. We can forgive that for how
Mhm.
amazing and how solid the rest of the show
Mhm.
was. And
Mhm.
then on
I can agree
top
with
of
that.
that, we get to meet the wrestlers before, during, and after the show. Most of them,
Mhm.
the ones that choose to come out and interact with the people. We don't get that really at other places as easily. Like LPW, it's like if they choose to come out, they come out. So most of them are. We see Pride pretty consistently there. We
The Radz
see,
usually come out.
yeah, the
Mhm.
Radz. We've also see Paralera will come out pretty regularly. Top Talent, I don't tend to stick around. I go hang out in the parking lot with some of my friends after the show pretty quickly now. But
But
like I don't find it easy to kind of interact with them there.
I because I find the guys are all out at are all out at the. There's a bunch of guys usually all at the merch table at Top Town before and after the show. Like
Good to know. Well,
there's usually
again,
at least 5 or 6 of them
as I
there.
said, I'm not normally in there.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. You just want to go smoke.
well, no, I have my friends that come up to work the show
That's
and
true.
I go outside and see them so
That
that
is
I
true.
can have a moment with them without, fans and stuff coming up to them being like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I get you.
So
I
yeah,
get
we have our little, and usually Eric leaves something hidden in the parking lot for me to go on a goddamn scavenger hunt for.
Why didn't you just leave it in my car?
Because you're usually already in the building and we can't leave.
That is true. We are trapped.
We are literally trapped in that building until the show is over.
That is true. That is true.
Which is a complaint in itself. But
But
to RCW, this show, as you said, very, very solid. And we'll have to do like maybe an end of the year kind of chop talk to talk about what we think about the local shows that we've been able to go see and what the pros and cons and everything are and what some of their best matches and shows are as we will do. Any hoozles.
and we talked about it. The Vince Austin Memorial Show will be here in Edmonton Friday, November 8th. So please come check it out. All proceeds will be going to mental health charities. So please come out and support a good cause. And Night of Professional Wrestling, which everybody's donating their time to. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be there. We're going to be there sitting in the back row as we usually do.
We'll have to sit closer to the edge so Mitch can come touch our tip. Wow, my dyslexia came out in that one. Jesus Christ.
Your dyslexia. That's what I heard. I heard dyslexia. All that dyslexia.
Well, probably because you started talking and I thought I was being cut off.
Well, we have come to the end of another episode of Chop Talk. You don't have that ready. There we go. Now I have it ready. You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and on our YouTube page, youtube.com/at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find coverage of our Japanese wrestling content over at A Plus Productions on Facebook and aplusproductions.com, where you can find the feeds for the A Plus Sports, A Plus Entertainment, and A Plus Wrestling, where you can find mine and Melball's content. You can also find me over at twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment or youtube.com/at Our Local Establishment, where you will not be able to find me this Wednesday, but there will be an episode of Marvel Talk hosted by our boy, old Ed, but I will be at Bowling for Soup. So screw you, Ed. And I will... he's a big fan of Bowling for Soup, too. So, yeah. So screw you, Ed. So I won't be there, but Ed will be there with a special guest host. So go check that out. That is Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, or it should be around then. And then me and Mel, and then, you'll catch me other times on OLE when I show up, like I did this morning on on Bobby's Point of View. And I'm probably going to be there again next weekend because Mark's going to be missing next weekend. So I'm probably going to show up for that one too. Just to antagonize Ed and tell him all my great stories about going to Bowling for Soup.
You're so petty.
You should see the messages between both of us. He's just as petty to me. Especially when he saw Dijak first and he was being a dick about it. You can also find our content restreamed over at youtube.com/at Backbreaker Video. Mike puts that stuff up a week after it comes out on Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find all the great content he does live at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Saturday or Sunday, depending on which one they do it on. You can find him doing the AEW watch-alongs. And then the rest of the week, you can see him playing video games, all the different games that he does play. Replays of that, youtube.com/at backbreaker_gaming, where you find content from him, Mr. PJC, this wee little lad right here, which you saw on the RCW show that we just reviewed, Rick Jules, and their frequent guest,
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Yes, we do. Melball, where can I find you?
You're home, minding my business.
On the interwebs.
On the interwebs, you can find me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time.
You sure?
Unless it's not.
Are you sure though?
Unless it's not. And then we'll let you know on social media. This week will be a pre-recorded episode because, as we mentioned, we will be attending the Top Talent Show at Midway, the TT. We'll be attending the TT to see Kurt Angle and chant "You suck" and not feel bad about it.
I'm going for Beast Mordos, but
I mean, so am I technically, but not everyone else is. More toes. The Beast More Toes. Anyway, you can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We will hopefully have an episode coming out for you very soon, so stick tuned to our socials to see when that is going to come out. If you're wanting to watch an RCW show, we will leave a link in the description box down below to their Eventbrite, where you can find it through their Facebook page as well as their Instagram page. Tickets to the next show are up already, and that was November 8th, right? In Edmonton. Awesome. So get your tickets now, either through there or get into the know with some of your favorite local professional wrestlers. Support local, and you can get your tickets through there. Yeah. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say again, thank y'all so much for tuning in here and supporting us. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, whether it's Andre Melverse and Talker Back or your video. Put some comments down below. We love talking to you. We love talking about all the great professional wrestling that we talk about. And we want to hear what you like about the wrestling that we're talking about. Also, don't forget to share us out. Tell your friends, family, and crazy people who happen to wear hockey masks. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new. What did we drop? I can't remember what we dropped. What did we drop, Mel?
Me, most times.
Oh, yeah, when we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Hello. Ay, 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 ay. We need to be caged. That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Yes, yes, yes.